Hello and a warm welcome to another episode of the Vog0n Cast, your podcast about everything concerning the Metaverse Football League. I'm one of your hosts, Jimbo. I'm joined by my good mate Calvinator, and we're going to discuss all the MFL updates, transfers, developments, everything that's gone on in MFL over the last 7 days. One important note, this is not financial advice. You should all know that by now. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. We're joined by another delightful guest today, Calvinator. Not a repeat like last week. Who have we got on today?
Yes, we have an interesting guest, I would say. I'm very glad he is here because I like to ask people from all over the world or all over Europe to join us. And we have, again, a guest from Europe, from the European mainland. A very passionate member of the MFL community, someone who's very good at designing logos. He was the top 3 of our contest, and he also helps others with their logos. So, please welcome Vog0n. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Welcome to the podcast, my man. It's great to have you on.
Yeah, it's an honor to be on the podcast.
Love that. So, yes, we'll have Vog0n on with us today. We'll be obviously going through our weekly updates as usual. We'll jump into a little bit about himself, and then we're going to go into sort of a bit of a season 0.4 prediction, or I guess it's sort of not like a review because it's not happening yet, but we're sort of going to preview. That's the one, not review, preview. Cheers, mate. Yes. A preview. We're going to jump into a little bit of a season 0.4 preview, dive a little bit about the Diamond Leagues, not leagues, league is only one of those top divisions. And we'll sort of then break down what some of our predictions are, how we're feeling as individuals going into the league, and bits and pieces like that. But before we get started into the weekly updates, we had our not our final stream, but the final stream of the player pack drop series. So to all of you who took part and listened and engaged and watched with that, thank you so much. It's been an absolute blast streaming 7 out of the 8 pack drops, and I've really enjoyed it. How about yourself, Calvin?
Yeah, it was really fun. It was fun to do the quiz again, and you did well in it, right, Jimbo? You did.
I can't remember. Did I come second?
Well, definitely like top 5, top 3 each time.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to do the quiz and see what people got. I think and some nice pools there. So yeah, if there's some more drops coming, we'll definitely stream again, and maybe with some other events like finals of the cup or last league games. If there's some exciting like Diamond League, like an exciting final round. So we'll definitely be back streaming. No drops anymore to stream, but way more activities.
Yeah.
So stay tuned
100%
for that.
I think Vog0n, you popped into stream for a little bit. Is that right?
Yeah, I watched the stream, but I was not in the quiz.
Not in the quiz.
But I saw my friend Guitarrero, Vog0n's player.
Yeah, he won. I think he won. Did he win 2 prizes? I think he won 2 prizes.
Yeah, I think he was in top 3 of the quiz.
He won one of the individual players and one of the packs as well. So, props to your good friend Guitarrero for winning the double rewards. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into the weekly updates, personal journeys. How are individual teams doing? I'll go first. Mine's short and sweet. Both teams, second team didn't even get into the knockout stages. Wyverns got dumped out in extra time in the first knockout. Easy for me. What about yourself, Calvin?
Very easy. I've 6 teams. 3 made it to the quarterfinals, then 2 lost there. I have Corsair Cove in the semis. They won in the semis. And they're actually playing the final in very soon. Maybe 12 minutes.
Okay.
So we're actually recording this. Full disclosure on a Friday evening. So maybe at the end of the episode we can say how they did and if I won another... I don't know if there's a trophy even, but if I won the glory of the preseason tournament.
There should be, surely. I don't know, actually.
Maybe. Let's see.
Well, it depends. If your voice starts going a bit quieter and a bit sadder towards the end, we might be able to guess if you've lost the game, right? But hopefully, fingers crossed, they pull through and they get that trophy.
And it's pretty fun because this is a bit of my experimental team. So I put like 5-2-3. I'm playing there, some wing backs, and I also stacked it a little bit because I want them to do well in the Iron League. So a couple of rares in there, or 2 technically. So let's
Yeah.
see how they're doing. How was your preseason tournament, Vog0n? Any success or any finals?
No, I was with 5 teams in the cup, but only one team passed the group. And after the first knockout game, I was completely out.
Okay, so not the best tournament for you there.
Yeah.
No. But the first time I played with my new platinum team.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
This was cool. I was in the group with Meta Mercenaries.
Oh, yeah.
Well, probably the worst team to get matched up with, right?
It was really hard.
Yes, can imagine.
But I make an 0-0 against him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's better than a lot of teams did in the previous 3 seasons of Diamond.
Yeah.
And it was Parque Ibraquera with me in the group. So I know at the beginning it will not be possible to pass that group.
So you were like the underdog and 2 Diamond League teams.
Oh, I make third place. I'm proud I make the third place.
That's promising. that's good foundations to build on for the league.
But that's like exciting season for you that you're also now in Plat and you play for them for the first time. So I can imagine that's really cool to be with the big boys. Let's say there, that feeling. Yeah.
It's awesome. That's really big boys. Yeah.
The biggest boy, the Meta Mercenaries, definitely there. So you played against Dirk. Can we say that?
Yes.
Later? Oh, okay, nice. Playing against Dirk. So later more about that maybe in how did Dirk do. So I think we can move on to dev updates.
Yeah.
Shall I kick it off? Or you?
Yeah, kick it off.
I can do
kick
dev
off
update and then you can tell us something about AMA, like a short recap.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
AMA recap. So about dev update, we all saw the referral program. So now you can refer MFL to your friends, and that you can both gain some players, and if you refer a lot of friends, even rare player, rare pack. So that's really great that we now get rewarded for that, and that's been implemented, and you have your personal link. So check that out and see how you can win some nice prizes there. Also, tactics presets. So this is really cool that when people started playing with tactics, that they got some feedback for Jax that like it would be great if we can save it so we can use it for other teams, and that is now possible. So this feature has also been implemented. So that's really really cool that you can save some tactics and reuse them. About the engine, so as always, a couple of updates regarding shots. They've been working on player rating, but I think the big one this week, the biggest exciting thing, is that the next focus is player progression. So player progression is one of the essential elements for the first, let's say, real season of MFL. So the fact that they start working on that is really exciting. Another thing is Cadence is the program language on Flow. It has received an update, and this will make it much easier to program things, some new opportunities. I don't know anything about coding, but sounds good that you can have some new language updated. And another interesting thing is that the main focus right now for the team is to expand the MFL user base. And part of that is to offer MFL in multiple languages. So the foundation has been implemented to make it easy to display the game in multiple languages. So we can expand the user base to a bigger market. So that's also great. So what about the AMA, Jimbo? I was not there, unfortunately, but I really want to hear what was discussed. So what could you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I managed to take down some notes, not on everything, but on just sort of what sort of like, I guess they caught my eye, what caught my ears, we'll call it. So at the start, they basically showed off the new team instructions and the presets of the tactics that you just mentioned then, because obviously since the last AMA, that's basically one of the bigger updates that's been pushed. So for people who weren't aware of that, they sort of showcased that. Quick mention on set pieces, obviously in the tab it says coming soon. I think it still says, they said it, there's no ETA when that's arriving, just coming soon, basically. Free to play has been something that's been discussed quite a bit within the community recently. And what I've got written down here is something they want, but no official start on development. Top priorities over the next few weeks is brainstorming and getting understanding of how this will look. So basically, that sort of initial strategizing as to how free to play could look. Then they touched on, the clubs being managed by other managers, and I've actually kind of left this one blank, probably because I was too busy listening rather than typing. But I imagine it was based something that said we'd like to have it, but it's just not a priority at the moment. That's basically what the answer was. And then obviously we had a bit about common players and their utility, because we all are in a position, not all, but many people are in a position where we have lots of common players. Some people with 20 or 30, some people with over 100 and 150 common players. And they did say they would like there to be more tension with the players, so more players being used. They know there are more players being unused at the moment, so there's common players. I said that sort of in the next coming weeks there'll be a bigger push on referral programs, and sort of, their end game was to try and make the ecosystem of MFL a bit more sustainable. And I've got here, they talked about supply management, and what they maybe suggested was that what could be quite an interesting piece is that sort of the way supply is managed could be decentralized, in terms of like the decisions on supply changes, the criteria being transparent, so people could understand supply creation and management a bit more. So rather than them saying we're going to mint more, it's like there's particular criteria. It's decentralized, so they technically have no, sole ownership of it. When it happens, it needs to be multiple things coming together, essentially. Obviously, burning got brought up and been questioned. So they have no idea on how that. It's obviously it's a thing they've considered and thought about before. No idea on how that works logistically. Still sort of thinking and potentially designing, if it was to be a case, what that would look like. Maybe it's just retiring a player, maybe it's a training academy. I think that sort of burning element could be introduced when other things get implemented off the back of it. And the other bit I've got down here, which is obviously I've not mentioned everything. Hopefully Lucas will uploads the audio or a recap. But there was a question about car suspensions, and obviously getting a red card, you get suspended, or multiple yellow cards, you can get suspended. So something they do want to implement, because it adds extra layers and complexity to the game, which obviously is always nice to have that piece. But I think it's similar to the clubs being managed by other managers. It's not at the moment a priority. It's a nice to have, but will be in eventually. My guess that car suspensions will probably be introduced before clubs being managed by other managers, because it's actually a real part of the game.
Yeah, of the gameplay.
I
think. And it should also be gameplay of season 1.
Exactly.
But yeah, this a couple of things also tie into each other. I think with expanding the user base, and with maybe having a free-to-play, common players will be more valued, more popular. Maybe you can even send a couple of common players to a free-to-play team, so you can ask your friends to manage them in a free-to-play team for no extra money, and you have all those guys lying around, and they might be like the superstars of the free-to-play, which might be until 40 cap of like the free ones you can use. So could be solved in that way.
Yeah, it was overall a good AMA. Always really, just interesting to listen and to sort of them answering the questions. And I guess the next one will be next month, because it feels like they're monthly. But yeah, so dev updates and AMA, all good.
Nice. Season update. So yeah, right now as we speak, the finals are happening for the preseason tournament, and let's take a look at Tier 1, at where the Diamond League teams are playing, and where Vog0n, where you played with your team. So actually Meta Mercenaries is again doing very well there. They managed to get into the final, and they play there against Londinium FC. So maybe they start the season off again with a victory, Meta Mercenaries. Let's see. The semis was, by the way, against Ballers FC and Club Atletico Tango. So 4 Diamond League teams made it to the semifinals, and they have, let's say, a good start. We're going to talk more about this later, what if this means something for the upcoming league or not. But yeah, it's fun to see those teams already doing very well so early on in the season.
I just quickly opened the homepage and looked at some of the finals just gone on. Tier 16, Duff, one of Duff's teams, Ankara Unlimited, just won in their final 7-1. Pretty big, you know. But for a team that should be close, he won 7-1. He was 5-1 up, got a red card, then scored 2 more goals. So
I think Vog0n feels very happy about 7-1. No, Vog0n? Yes.
I don't think we've got any Brazilian listeners.
It's like a national day in Germany, the 1st of July.
A friend of me was in the stadium, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
That's cool.
Now he has the World Cup Pokal tattooed to his leg.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But he was at the final, yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Then, yeah, if you watch that final and wins the whole tournament, it's nice to, nice souvenir, I would say.
The last time was hard for the German team, but that was a great time.
Yes, ups and downs, but yeah, 2014, very nice tournament. Okay, Marketplace. I think I'll go over the basic stuff and then splash time with Jimbo.
Yeah, buddy.
So I always check the sales bot. I also looked at the sales bot this week, and I saw one new active manager, Zach. I've never seen that name in the sales bot, so nice that Zach also joined MFL and is buying a lot of players. Some active managers, so managers that were extra active or that caught my eye doing a lot of business. For example, Gecko bought a lot of guys. Trusted Process was very active. Also a massive trade with B-sellers. Really got a lot of new players and some clubs. K2K got 2 Iron clubs in like back-to-back sales. What you also bought loads of guys. More trades. Fortress Agency had like a ton of trades, a lot of players, and a club from Captain America for some non-NFL NFTs. So great that he is expanding his MFL consortium. And then finally, I would say the trade of the week was Cheech and Chong and Bitstradamus with a massive trade of 7 rares going one way and 6 rares and 1 Lego going the other. So again, a busy day for on the MFL marketplace. Splash time, Jimbo.
Splash of the week. And when doing my research here, originally I thought the splash of the week was Scotto, but Calvinator quite nicely told me it wasn't, and I found out the air table lied to me. Usually I go for the air table for looking at this, and I can sort by the week and I can sort by the highest and lowest, but for some reason the real splash of the week, which was Lopez purchasing Aladar Ferenc, there we go.
Ferenc, yeah.
Aladar Ferenc, 88 rated striker for $625. That is this week's splash of the week. But for some reason, it's not in the air table. Couldn't see it. So, Yaks, if you're listening, I don't know what's happened, but the biggest splash wasn't in the air table. So I was a bit confused. But that was this week's splash of the week.
Yes. It's an interesting one. Because, I also felt like Lopez is this name I don't see a lot, and he's buying such a legendary, and I checked his wallet. But then, Jimbo, you said he is Bollards FC, right?
Yes.
So he's helping the DAO with putting a
I will
great
just double check that information. Need to make sure I'm not chatting up my... Yep, he is, yeah. He's a majority owner. There you go. So I don't think he actually has any MFL clubs. He basically is like a... an investor. Yeah. He's a majority investor within the DAO, within the Ballers DAO. There you go. Put it out.
Like one of those American guys buying like a menu or like
a bit like LeBron James and Pharrell Williams and all these Americans. I can't slate them because my club's about to be majority owned by an American consortium as well. So
Wensum.
No. I wish if Wensum had a 500 million asset under management American come and pump that money into Wyverns, you would see the Wyverns be a stacked out legendary side playing in iron. You would see it. I would make it happen.
Exactly.
The Splash of the Week forward. He played for my new club, the Platinum Club, and he sent me a message to let him off.
Oh, okay.
And I let him off.
What did you do?
Yeah, I let him off.
Okay.
Because I bought a player, and there where I bought him, don't let him off, and it's hard. So I said, okay, it's really hard for me in 88 forward. Let go now. But
yeah. Was he playing pretty good for you?
No, it was. I think it was before the. I don't know. He played really good.
But it's interesting, like kind of MFL etiquette, right? You have a good guy, and then someone else bought him, and then he's like, "Can I cancel the contract?" And you're like, "Well, actually, I need him, but I can understand you want him."
Yeah.
That's something. It's hard, right?
It's hard, but I think when you buy a player, you will play for your club, and when someone don't let him go, not feel good.
Yeah. No, usually I talk to them, I have a conversation, and if they really want him, it's better to keep a good relationship with all managers, and then in the future they will do the same for you.
Exactly.
That's what I usually do. I had something with Jamie. Jamie bought a guy and asked me, like, can you let him go, or do you need him? I was like, kind of need him, and Jamie was like, okay, for one season still okay, and then so we solved it like this, so that's great. All right, how Dirk? So let's have a look. So we know Meta Mercenaries did very well in the preseason tournament. Actually, Dirk did also pretty good. For example, in the quarterfinals, he recorded 3 assists in one match. So that's amazing. And also 3 shots. So he had a really good game there. But then he didn't start in the semis and he got benched because Vog0n played 4-2-2-2. So still a bit of a mixed bag. Like, what is it going to be with Dirk this season?
Yeah, it's a bit mixed, really. Don't know what to expect, but I think he starts with him into the season and then sees how it goes. But I think he's the hopeful starter for next season.
Yeah, or maybe
That's my
he
prediction.
has these 2 formations, and then if he has to rotate, he plays 4-2-2-2 and sometimes 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
So maybe technically it doesn't change. You still have your 2 CDMs there. It changes a little bit the top 4. How you play with those, so maybe that's what we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it gets on. Okay,
why Dirk? Do we do the why Dirk thing again?
Yeah, I think we'll do it. Well, it's tradition. We will do it. Vog0n, if you've been listening, you would have known that we like to ask our guests on their top 3 chocolate bars. So I don't know if you have off the top of your head your top 3 chocolate bars.
But I'm very interested now because it's now a German perspective.
Yeah,
it's not the American assortment here.
Maybe Calvin know it. Here exists a chocolate bar in Luxembourg, and it's a Benelux thing. It's Kinder Delice. It's Kinder Schokolade. They have also in the Netherlands, right?
It's like a little sandwich sort of thing.
Yeah. And
Kindermilchschnitte
exist, and that's a thing I only find in Luxembourg, and but it's a Benelux
but we
thing.
In the Netherlands it's called Bueno, I think. Is that not the Bueno also?
Bueno is the same firm, but it's another thing.
Yeah,
I never find it in the Netherlands, or I never saw it in the Netherlands, but the Netherlands have many cakes like this in the supermarket.
Yeah, we have a crazy
it's really
selection
crazy.
of things.
And that's the first one. And the second is Mars, and the third is, of course, Snickers.
Snickers. So your top is Snickers, or top is the Kinder?
Top is the Delice, Kinder Delice.
Okay,
Kinder
top is the Kinder.
Okay.
I'm a junkie.
And then, yeah. Nice. I like a different number 1, and we've seen those 2 and 3, but I like those options. And we always promote inclusivity within this podcast. So I'll also ask quickly for your top 3 vegetables so Calvinator doesn't feel left out. Do you also have a top 3 vegetables for us?
No.
Cal was crying.
Yeah.
You can say fried
I say
potato.
the potato and these sweet potato.
Nice.
But I prefer when it is pommes, no? When it's fried.
Pommes,
Yeah, we all
or
prefer,
chips.
Currywurst
we all
pommes.
prefer them when they're fries.
No sauerkraut. You have some sauerkraut sometimes with it, right? With the,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But
Okay,
it's not my
good
favorite
to know.
vegetable.
Yes. Good to know. So that's a new contender in the top 3.
There we go.
Maybe we should always have like a top 3, and then someone can replace one, and then we can have like a roll.
Oh,
like a top
okay.
3, like kick out one.
I know. I quite like that. Yeah, let's do that. So that.
Yeah, maybe from now on. So Vog0n, you're the first, and then someone can replace one of the spots.
I like that.
A rolling top 3.
Nice.
From now on, that's the plan. Okay, so Vog0n, you already shared a lot of info with us, or like your view and some experiences. But now let's focus a bit more on your journey and how you got into MFL. So could you give us a short summary of your career so far, your MFL career?
Yeah, I had these NBA Top Shots, of course. But I was involved in another Web3 project. It was a German project, and it was similar to MFL. And I was there in the Discord, and I temporarily managed the Instagram channel. And so I gained some insights into the project. It was called Meta Managers. The structure was similar to MFL, but the managers were the NFTs and not the clubs, no? And it was all fantasy, so no London club or something like that. It was just fantasy. And someone in the Discord mentioned MFL, and we checked it out, and we hope to make some promotion for our project, no? And but when the bear market hit, there was no interest due to you can't find investors, no? And the founder put it on ice, no? Then I started a little TikTok channel, and I opened packs from many projects, NFT projects.
Yeah.
And then I also bought MFL packs and opened them, and then I was re-engaged with the project, and it simply convinced me, and that's what keep me involved to this day.
That pack music keeps you in. That experience. Of all the games that I've played that have any like loot boxes or packs or anything, something different about the MFL pack opening experience, and especially the clubs with the spinning globe and all the music and its time to beat, perfection to me.
Yeah, and they delivered like no other project. Yeah? The last 2-3 years, I was in many projects because I was very interested in sport NFTs, but no other project goes forward like this. Well, that's playable. It makes fun. The community is great. Yeah, it exists. The podcast it's really awesome. Yeah,
yeah, my man.
You know the other guys. From the podcast or from the Discord or from chatting, creating logos ensemble. Yeah, together. Yeah, this an awesome project.
Yeah,
fixed me up.
And it's also cool that you have then, because you were so involved in opening all those packs and you were checking out those other projects, that you can really compare it and like, okay, compared to everyone else, this is great, so I'm gonna stick with this, and you can keep being involved. So that's great to hear. So what about kind of your clubs? Did you win any prizes, any highlights? So you have now Plat Club, right?
Yeah, I have now Plat Club, but I had to let go the Los Angeles club I had.
Oh yeah.
I was happy with, but it was a trade for a Berlin club.
A bit close to home.
but that's in bronze. But it's nice. And my career is not looking that good. I have trophy, dieses golden boot trophy from Frit. You know him. You mentioned him, in the stream, and
yes. I know from the.
And he makes in one of the Wender Cups, he make a goal against you. And then you mentioned him.
I know him.
We mentioned him in the club, and I bought Jesper Rosenberg, and in the season that I bought him, I let him play in his old owner's club, and he get the golden boot there. So the golden boot comes with him to my account, but it was not me, I think. Yeah. So the name not me.
Interesting.
Oh,
not me. Oh, yeah, not me. Okay, so and you got also another German team. I saw Dortmund, right?
Yeah. Now I bought Dortmund.
Yeah.
Because I want to sell the Bochum club. And now Dortmund club is NFC Zeche Germania. But this mine, this Zeche was there in Dortmund. And in Bochum is just the museum of the mining in Germany. Yeah.
Do you actually have any Bundesliga team, your favorites? Because I heard Bochum, Dortmund, Berlin. Any favorites?
I'm not really regarding that. Don't like this millionaires playing soccer. I always played soccer, and I was a trainer and I was a manager, and I prefer the real thing. I go and look at little games here nearby me, but this millionaire thing, I'm not really into it. And listen, also I regard by side, the Kicker app, and
so you as long as Bayern Munich don't win the league, I think it's probably. That's as long as they don't win the league, that's a success in my eyes for the league, I think. So hopefully this year they don't. It doesn't look like it anyway, but you never know.
It's definitely more fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's more fun when they don't win everything. Harry Kane effect.
Oh yeah, and it's also crazy that's like Lewandowski, Kane, they score so many goals there. It's just nuts always. Yeah, so a lot of people know you, Vog0n, I think from logos, like someone posting a logo creations or like I need a logo and you respond to them. So we thought it would also be fun to ask you a little bit about your logo creation, or maybe have tips for managers who want to rebrand their club for season 0.4. Can you give us a little hint, or is it a secret of the chef, how you design those logos?
I can give some hints, yeah. This logo thing, I made these little videos for TikTok, and before that I don't do anything with graphics. And when I bought my club, I looked the how-to for the logos, and I made it with Midjourney and the logo creator from MFL. And when I looked this Midjourney video, okay, I think that's cool. I go to Midjourney, I made an abonnement, and I used Midjourney. I tested it out, and I make my logos very fast with it, and because it's really, really cool, and easy to use. And you in Midjourney you see the other prompts from the other people and the results. And so I learned how to use the prompts, and and then some people asked help, and I in the chat, in the Discord, and I write them, okay, I can help you, I can make something with Midjourney, it's easy. And then some people was really, really happy with the logos. And then I started always helping. When someone pops up, I need help with the logo, or he made a logo, and I say I can do some things, but I should remove the background, something like that. So I helped in many logos. And now when I play the league and I see my logos in there, or winning a cup or something like that, it's cool. It's makes the game bigger. And some hints that I can give is, advice is to use Midjourney, but I stopped making that very deep graphic logos that they made. So you can also do easy logos and with Midjourney. Also not that deep graphics, simple logos. When you use the prompt, simple soccer club logo, and then I use clip art sticker as prompt, and then you take the town, like Belo Horizonte or Bochum or Jeddah, and Midjourney know what to do. And they make a simple logo with the colors from there, with something, a building, something like that from there. Make it very easy. But you need to add this text, like in the MFC Bochum logo, you need, or the Belo Horizonte logo, you need to add Belo Horizonte or the text. And that is a little bit tricky for someone who never did it, but yeah. That's something you can make your logo with a cool logo with Midjourney, and someone in the Discord or me can change the text. And it's the video how to is really good, and he shows also how to adjust the text with Canva. And you don't need a paid Canva abo for that. It works with a normal abo. And then you can use the remove homepage for removing the background.
Yes.
And then you have a cool logo.
Sounds great. So those are good tips. So yeah, Midjourney, AI, good prompts. Learn how to do some good prompts, play around with it, and then with a little bit of editing, you can make really cool, easy logos.
Yeah, I'll emphasize that as well. Like, using AI is really good, but the skill is in the prompts. If you can make the prompts as specific and, I guess, detail is the same word, as possible, then yeah. So yeah, Vog0n, great. First of all, really appreciate all the work you're doing for helping people with some amazing logos. It's great to see you really enjoy seeing yourself or seeing or playing against those clubs, or seeing those clubs sort of, they feel like your own but they're not, sort of thing. And yeah, some great tips there.
Yes, very good. So let's start talking now of like the main segment about season 0.4. So we want to dive a bit into the Diamond League, but also in general about our expectations for this season. Will it be a little bit different or not? And what do we expect to see happening? Maybe some teams or some predictions. So just a little chat about season 0.4. And the first thing we would like to talk about, so the three of us, about season 0.4, is how it will be different to previous ones. So do you feel like this league for your teams or for Diamond League, will it be different, and in what ways? Thoughts?
The biggest difference I see coming is when you have to rotate out players, and your players, depending on how you've been proactive and structured and thought about the changes you're going to have to make in those fatigue situations, we can't just put players in now who, you know, that left back or that right back at centre back, because in the previous engines you could. Unless there's secondary or tertiary positions, you're now going to take a hit on them. So I feel like those fatigue scenarios, some people's clubs or squads or starting 11s are really, really going to get hampered by it, because people, I don't think, are going to do enough research into their squads. That's what I think. After about 6-7 games, we'll start to see the real Slim Shadys, the real managers sort of like start to kick in a bit. Because I know my second club, that might happen to me if I'm not prepared enough. My rotation, I'll be playing some players out of position with like a -7-8 hit, and it'll be horrible. That's one of the biggest changes, I think, or like the biggest differences coming up this season, I think.
Yes, no, I agree. That like there's a bit more variables now. You do need to do more due diligence in preparing with it and making sure. Like I make sure I know which formations or two formations I can play, and I have like almost everything covered for a full rotation. that it works. But if you don't have that, you'll really start to pay penalties, kind of a penalty or a price for that. So we might see a bigger gap indeed between more like serious managers and people who didn't prepare it that well. Also with tactical choices, maybe. What about you, Vog0n? Do you anticipate anything? Any differences?
Yeah, it's hard to look ahead the next match. I always was in the account and looked at the club and how he played the last games, and so I prepared for the next match, and there you see he plays at home, and someone bet him with this formation, and he's always playing for 4-4-2, and I saw he always lost, but he always won, but when someone plays 4-3, he lost. So I take the 4-3 to play against him. But now I think that it's over because the people will make more changes, and you don't see the tactical advice from the 4-3-3. Now it will be hard to find out how can I bet someone.
Yeah, and especially without the 2D, what we said before, that you cannot really see the effects of some choices or how to counter that.
You cannot see the tactics.
No.
That makes the game better, but
it's not just it's not just as simple now as changing a formation to counter another formation or something like that. There's, like we mentioned, lots of different parameters that now have a little influence each, and if you get them, it's a bit like picking a lock. You got 6-7 different layers, and if you get that key right in the end and get them all right, you've unlocked the key to success, the formula to success. There you go. I like that one.
But I think, knowing this, I think for my teams I'll just focus on playing the strongest possible formation that will work against most other teams. I think if you just focus on your own game, on your own strengths, you still do decent even if the enemy has a slightly better tactic. So, but it will be more unpredictable in this sense, and let's see how that works out. Maybe you'll see a bit more tighter top teams, less big gaps on the top. Other things we anticipate here?
I think you mentioned about how it's going to be like an exciting and unpredictable. I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most, because previous seasons we've had fatigue last year. We've not had like a big shake up, and I think team instructions and the more formations is a big shake up into sort of the unpredictability. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm most looking forward to. I'm most looking forward to the fact I don't know how my team's going to perform, because I do some testing and I go, I'm actually doing all right. And then I do some more testing and I'm like, no, I'm really not doing okay. I just don't know where I'm at. And because it's difficult with the pre-season tournament, because you're matched against teams which statistically are similar to yours in theory. Whereas now we could get big differences between leagues or between teams within leagues. So I'm that
will be really exciting, And also then if you have a tactical preset, park the bus, and you play against this crazy stacked, overpowered Iron League with like 8 rares, maybe you can now test this park the bus kind of preset and see how that works. So that will also be exciting to see if you can play around with that a little bit, and it's way more unpredictable. So definitely exciting, for this very exciting season coming up. I think Vog0n, more to say about this topic.
I think it will be harder to win.
You lost your one.
That was my only trick. I lost my one trick. You have to make many test matches. So find out what's the best for your club, for your players. For your formation. You will play.
So one prediction we can probably do, all 3 of us, is that managers who are a bit more serious about everything, they'll get rewarded more. So if you put more effort in it, you probably can really get rewarded for this with better results. So that's a nice thing, right? That's what you want. So that's looking forward to that. Okay, let's focus a bit on the Diamond League. So why I really wanted to do it. I also mentioned it before in general. Like, it would be fun to talk in a bit more detail about the upcoming Diamond League season. Is to build a bit more the hype around it, and that we start to watch it, and also watch it as fans. That you have your favorite Diamond League team and you really like engage with them or invested in their story. So hopefully we can add to that with this podcast to hype it up a little bit. So let's look at the Diamond League right now and do some analysis and some predictions as if we are Sky Sports or BBC Match of the Day. So first of all, Vog0n, actually, do you sometimes watch Diamond League matches, or do you have a favorite team, or is there?
I always looked when I check my account. I always looking also at the Diamond League, and it's interesting to see how those managers with these big accounts manage their clubs, and to see how Vog0n make these millions of test matches and go this extra mile to winning, and he get rewarded.
Yes, it's like
it's interesting to see the Diamond League playing. Also, the Ballers FC is very interesting to watch him. That was the last, but I think they will go up there.
Yeah, and it's maybe also for you more fun for you to watch now, because now you're a plat team, right? And if there's promotion relegation, you could also in one championship promote to the Diamond League. So you would watch it with a bit more interest, maybe, to see what's your competition out there.
Will be a long way.
Yeah. Never say never. Possibility. I wrote a couple of things down, like some interesting facts here. So Meta Mercenaries, Club Atletico Tango, Londinium FC, Ballers FC, they were the ones in the semi-finals now of Tier 1. So it seems they based on this result, that they got their things in order, that they're doing very well in the preseason, and that they will do well in the Diamond League. Also, Parque Ibirapuera also qualified out of the group, was in the quarterfinals. Dio had a little bit of a disappointing preseason, I think, but he got those great left wingers. So he has a better team than last season. He also just received again that 92 centre back. So it seems his team will be ready to challenge Meta Mercenaries. And we also have a couple of like wildcards, mystery team, I would call Samba FC. They have a new manager now, Curry or Yu. Like Disco name is Yu and MFL's name is Curry. And his team only has a couple of uncommon players right now, so he really needs to sign more, get more players to start. There's a little bit of a wild card. So, what do you guys think of this info? Jimbo, what do you feel like?
I think it's worth me saying here, I have to disclose that I'm now a part of the Ballers DAO, so I own one Ballers token now. So I think I have to disclose that before we discuss this. If I start sounding like I'm all waving the Ballers flag, you're like, that's a bit weird. Why is he doing that? I now own one Ballers token as of a couple of days ago, so I'm now officially part of it. But
nice.
Yes, it's going to be an interesting one, Diamond, this year, because there's been some managerial shifts. Like you said, you or Curry with the Samba FC team. We've also got what I've seen in the grapevine, in the rumour mill, is that Unity, his club, is going to be changing hands, I think. And I think this is what Fancy Gaffer is currently doing a little write up and a type up about. And actually, as a moment of us recording this, he's actually said to one of us, he said in the general chat, Ayo, when Dirk hosts, slide into my DMs when you get the chance. So after this, we could get some exclusive news about some upcoming transfer, bit like Fabrizio Romano.
Here we go.
Kind of stuff, we'll announce it, but he's got the new sort of thing. So it'd be interesting to see where Unity's club goes, if it is actually changing hands, because it's going to be quite late in the day or in the registration period. But I think what I want from this season is I want a new winner of the Diamond League.
Yes.
We've had
Would be
Meta
nice.
Mercenaries twice, and the second season was Ibira Pereira, right?
Yes.
I want a different. Otherwise, we're going to start talking about Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga here. When I don't want Meta Mercenaries running away with every year. But I don't think they will. I think we're going to get a really tight division this year. I can't really make any predictions. I will say,
What?
I mean, let's go a bit different here. I think Dio's Biccione Milano, I reckon they win it. He had a disappointing pre-season, right? But like you mentioned, his team's better this year. His team is better.
He has a better team, yes.
I think he's got it in him. I think he owns a lot of clubs. I have also think I've seen somewhere that he would like to try and decrease his club count. Maybe that's more attention being paid in the Diamond Club. You do not know. So I'm going Dio top. I'm going to go Ballers second. Up the Ballers.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put... No, actually, scrap that. Dio, Meta Mercenary. He's got to be in there somewhere. And then I'm going to go Ballers third. That's my top three. That's my top three. And I'm hoping we get at least 9 clubs signed up for it, like we did last year. We've got 7 currently. I hope at least we get 9.
Yes. Of course, we want as many teams, and I agree with you. We want to have more competition, and it would be nice if multiple teams are able to win the league. But also, as Vog0n, as you said, like Ronan, he's so dedicated, and he has such an amazing team. And it seems he is now also versatile, playing around with 2 possible formations, even benching Dirk sometimes. Can you imagine how good his team is if you're benching Dirk? So
Could never dream about it.
I feel like if I would do a top 3, that I would still put Meta Mercenaries on the first place. Although I like also to see other teams.
Boring.
It's a bit like Bayern. They're like the Bayern of MFL. So I think.
And you want to support that? Come on. You want a bit change, even if in your head,
I'm saying
even if in your
like...
head you think Meta Mercenaries will win. Surely in your heart says a different winner.
I could see Dio winning, and we talked to Dio before.
My man.
I know he is downscaling a little bit. He's maybe getting some more budget to get more players there. He would also, definitely has a big chance. I would say.
We also have a horrendous prediction record.
So maybe I would put him. Yeah, we are not the best, but we're speculating. So I would put him second, and maybe Londinium FC. I think Eric there, he has a very nice team. I check their games, like they're in the final now. I think he has a good tactic, 4-3-1-2. I also like to play that. So maybe like he will be the surprising one. So let's put him on the third spot, Dio second, and Meta first. Vog0n, what would be your top 3? What are your expectations here?
Yeah, don't forget Big Wilbert.
Okay, Big Wilbert, okay.
I think he was the second, and he also really want to win that cup, that league, and I think he can do it. Yeah, I see the first 3 others. I think the Tangos will be the first, and the Meta Mercenaries should be the second. And Dio with Milano.
Dio first. So we all think Dio and Meta in the top 3, and then you put Tango in there, put Londinium, and Jimma puts Ballers as a third horse in the race.
Yeah, third horse, yeah. I do like Vog0n. I like your Big Wilbert shout there, because he is really strict and very thorough with his tactics and his testing. I know that, for example, I think he doesn't let you test against him in terms of he puts like either invalid lineups or he just he just doesn't play many games before the seasons or the games start, so you can't like get any prediction on him. So it's almost like you feel everyone else does loads of testing, and he's like, well, I'll just use those matches and see what you're good at and what's bad for you. So I think the Vog0n, the Big Wilbert prediction, I quite like that one. But I'm glad we've gone with a different top 3. but we've all gone with the safe bet of putting Meta Mercenary second. So just in case we don't get the first one right, we'll go, well, we put him second.
Yeah, no, it's really boring for me to put him on first, but I think he's just too good here. But I gladly get like a surprise there at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe we can also predict who would maybe go down if there was like a proper league. Who do you think would go down?
I mean, when you just look at it, the obvious one, from current standpoint, with the current squad that is on that roster to that club, it would be Samba FC, right? You said there's only uncommons. He's got
only
like
some uncommon players.
Yeah, right now that's the obvious relegation candidate because there's no one signed. That's the easy one. But apart from that, it's a tough one, you know, because last year Ballers finished bottom, Londinium were a point above them. I don't know. Ballers have had a few upgrades this year. Obviously, their management. I now get the inside information on that, but their management is now, they're on it completely. But last year they won the pre-season tournament, then flopped the league. So
it's not a guarantee if you do well unless you do well in the league.
No, you don't get promoted. You don't win the title 4 games in. That's what I know.
Yeah, well, of course, Samba FC, if they even join the league, but then they would be a big relegation contender because they're not building a proper Diamond League worthy squad. Maybe OM Legends will have some trouble judging on past results, although they have a very good team. But I don't know if Joe B is.
I think Joe's a bit of a dark horse. Yeah.
Yeah, like. Is he gonna put in a bit more effort to make it work, to make his squad work?
I think if he did, he'd be a dark horse.
Yes. So, any other predictions? Top scorer? I think Rory. Rory would be safe bet.
Rory's got to be somewhere in there.
Yeah. Apart from that, I think that's what we believe. But let's see. We can maybe, when it finishes, come back to our predictions and see who was right. What about other leagues? Plat, the Gold. Do you have any other teams or players or any other predictions you want to make about season 0.4 throughout the pyramid?
I don't think the Wyverns win Iron this year. I just don't think we do. I think there's going to be some really strong teams in Iron this year. Yeah, and I could upgrade my squad, but I don't want to. I just feel like if I have all 74 rated players, it's not representative, and I've already won 2 titles, so I feel like I've done my winning now of titles through I've never been the strongest candidate in every league I've been in, so I've technically overachieved, but I'd now like to really start just tweaking the parameters of getting the most out of the players rather than going, my team's not that great, let's spend an extra £100 and upgrade it. I don't want to go down that route.
Okay. Fair enough. Now I like that. And MFL points wise is also the smartest choice. I think.
Yeah.
The right balance, but definitely in Iron League, it's always a bit like a gamble of who you're gonna be matched with.
Yeah.
So
you get really strong and really weak teams in Iron. You get to mix everything.
You have to be really lucky. Like I do hope there will be some seeding at some point for this. Like if there's just crazy Iron League teams, that there is some kind of seeding. Like you
could argue that when relegation promotion happens after a couple of seasons that happens, but yes. I see what you mean though. But there could be there may not be enough.
Promotion relegation would be maybe nice to. You just have, for example, we can already predict Taggart that he will win another title, right, with the Park Street Maple.
Yeah.
Because his team is just so crazily stacked. So
yeah.
Maybe then he would also be a top seed, so that you don't have another crazy Silver League team with him, and then if you're.
But then but surely you want another good team. Like I know you don't for seeding wise, but if we're in the league, surely it makes that league more entertaining because you get 2 big headers. I'd like to see that, but I don't think
definitely for that. Yeah. But if my Black Sea is with both of them, I feel pretty bad. So that's why not, but. Yes. Yeah. So that's always a gamble. With that, Vog0n, what about you? What about your own teams?
Yeah, I think Scrub will not be beatable in the Platinum League. He will win. He will be the first because now he has just the Platinum team. Right? He has no Diamond team, and he has all these awesome players, very strong teams.
So he moved his Legos from that Samba that he sold to his Plat.
Yeah, I think he will do that.
Huh? Yeah, of course. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So hopefully you won't be with him in that one.
I hope. Yeah. But he has two clubs there. Also,
I think those teams they're just raking in the trophies, the more stacked ones. We also have a Dirk dilemma for you today, Vog0n. And we mix it up again. We never did this one. It's if, let's say, we would put $1,500 USD in your Dapper wallet right now, and you have to spend it on MFL. What will you do with it? Like, will you make some dreams come true?
Yeah, buy the players that I need for the Platinum Club. But license I have enough. Clubs I have enough. I have loaned out 2 clubs to other players, and maybe I will help them also out, so they get more interested in MFL. Help them with players, no? Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So, yeah. So you would give away some nice players to them to help them with that. Yeah. So you would just invest in like really like a couple of Legos for your Plat. Let's say that's what you would do.
I think it's question time for Vog0n, right? So, Taggart, last episode, on the topic of tactics with Taggart, said, for you, Vog0n, what's the one tactical instruction, or could be multiple, that stands out for you? Of all the new ones introduced, what stands out the most for you? What really interests you?
There's not really an outstanding. I think you have to find the right mix. But for answering the question, I think I take the directness. Then when you have this good dribbling players, you can take controlled, and if you have lower dribbling but good scorers, you can take the director. I think that's the one for me, but I think they all are heavy. I made some test matches and I'm changing things, and I can't see the structure, but it make changes.
Yeah, they're all big in themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone still has to figure out the engine there, but I think indeed the directness is it's a fundamental thing of the game you want to play, right? The type of passing, like it's really like or tiki-taka or a kick and rush on both extremes. So I think I tend to agree with you here that it's really the thing that stands out and kind of dictates the other things, the game you want to play. So agree. Vog0n, did you think about a question for someone else, for the next guest?
Yes, I have a question, and I want to know how he prepares for his next game, also the game of his first club, and he see I have to play against someone, and how he prepare. Goes he like me there and watch the old the past games, or what will he do to prepare for the next game?
Good question. Yeah, it's what we talked about before, right? Like you cannot check any more the formations, the game. You have to now focus on other stuff.
I have to find a new trick to win games.
yeah, exactly. You want to find out a new trick for someone else, from someone else's trick. Anything more, Jimbo? We need to discuss.
I don't think so, mate. I think this is an apt time to close episode 23 of the Wendert cast. I want to say a huge thank you to Vog0n. Hope you had a great time. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it was cool. Really fun. It was an honor to be part of it.
Oh, mate, I love that. Yeah, no, great to hear. So thank you so much for for coming on. To all of you listening right now towards the end of the podcast, I always say a little hashtag. What should we make the hashtag today? Hashtag. No, let's go hashtag Kinder. In honor of Vog0n's top chocolate choice. Let's go. If you're this far, hashtag Kinder in the Discord general chat. We want to see that there. I know a few of you. I think King Dingaling mentioned hashtag fire a couple of days ago, so I know there's a couple of you. If you got this far, hashtag Kinder. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening, everyone. We'll see you this time next week for an episode of the Vog0n Cast. Thank you for listening.